Hey YouTube, this video is on BasinJS. This video assumes you have a form somewhere on the internet and you want to submit and collect that data somewhere. And this typically involves adding some form of spam protection and possibly redirecting or displaying some success or error messages. So here at Basin, we've developed a solution that does all of this for you. And we're going to walk you through on how to go from some form on the internet to all of these things that you're going to need. So let's get into it. I'm going to assume you already have a Basin account. Basin has some free plans, so you can play with most of this for free. And for personal needs, it's probably all you need. So I'm going to assume you've signed in, you've created your first form, and the first thing we're going to need is your endpoint. So if we start with your endpoint, you can set that as your action in the form action. And this form would already work. We could fill it out and we would submit to this endpoint and collect the data. In fact, let's test it out. Oh, gotta spell my name right. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Now I have this set up to redirect to spam check AI, but that's using our backend. So if I go back into my form builder here and under settings, you can see that I've set it to redirect. So we've already set up a form using just our form backend solution. That's what we just did. But we're going to get into adding a whole bunch of sugar now. So if we go back to our form, let's set up ReCAPTCHA. So the first thing we would need to do is come over here into Basin to our spam settings. And we're going to require that all the submissions that come into our backend have a valid ReCAPTCHA token. So if we check that off and hit save, and now we go back to our form, now if we submit, it's going to go straight to spam. So we did accept this first submission. It looks good. I can see it sent me an email. Maybe I'll show you what that looks like. I can see I got mail, right? This was my submission. Hello, 1, 2, 3. So it didn't go to the spam folder. We got it in our inbox. You can see I'm here in Abbotsford. Very cool. Let's add some sugar. So if we go to our docs and BasinJS, you can see the steps. So the first step is to add our BasinJS script to your form somewhere. So we'll copy paste that and put it before the closing body tag. Mind you, this works in Webflow or WordPress or Shopify or anywhere you have a form on the internet. A static site, HTML is HTML. So I've included my script, and then there's a few helpers. So we just need to add database and form to our form element. So we'll copy paste that. And on our form element, we're going to say database and form. And you can just put in true or database and form or leave it blank. It doesn't really matter. This is good. This is good. It's all kind of the same. And now there's some extra optional things you can do. You can add a success and failure div. You can choose your spam protection option. So we're going to take this one, database and spam protection ReCAPTCHA. We'll add that to our form true too. So now we have database and form true, database and spam protection ReCAPTCHA. And we've included the script at the bottom and told the script which form and how we want to do some things on that form. And now since we're submitting with JavaScript 2 and we want to keep our redirect, there's an additional action we need here. And instead of just rendering success, we'll have to say redirect. But let's look at what the default is first. The defaults are kind of built for Webflow specifically, but it works anywhere on the web. So we're kind of telling you what the default classes are, and those work out of the box for Webflow, but you can add those classes obviously to your HTML anywhere on the web. So if we save this, refresh, you can see we have the ReCAPTCHA notice now. You can hide that with CSS if you want. We'll fill this out again. Anthony at anthonypenner.com. Testing ReCAPTCHA. Boot. Hit submit. Now you'll notice, since we didn't specify render or redirect, the default is render, and we've got these default classes that we just throw in. So unless you specify your own divs or alerts, we'll just throw something in. And again, out of the box for Webflow, these will be the default Webflow alerts and error messages. So let's adjust this so it redirects like we want it to. So we'll add in our class here. We'll add in database and success action equals redirect. Make sure we spelled that right. Yep, and we'll save this and we refresh. We'll give it another try. Anthony at anthonypenner.com. Does this redirect? And of course it does. So let's summarize here quickly. I'll show you what these emails look like. I did still get them. Does this redirect? In your inbox, you can send this to other people. You can customize this template, all that good stuff in Basin. So to summarize, we configured invisible ReCAPTCHA somewhere on the internet. There's other spam options here. We submitted with JavaScript asynchronously and we stayed on the page. We showed rendering of different alerts or not, and we also showed you how to redirect. So I think in the future we're going to open source this and support different platforms and stuff. So let us know what you think and how this works for you. And we'd like to add more spam providers and make it easy to configure them anywhere on the internet. Thanks for watching. And of course, if you need support, reach out to support@usebasin.com.